what I was, because the other one's 2/3/2021.
We've just started the table. Okay.
Okay.
I'm on page 7.
Okay, at the top of page 7 there, do you see where it says for 3.5 to 4 years, working 48 hours per calendar year at a frequency of 4 times per week?
Oh, I'm on page 8, which is, I apologize. Yes, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead now, where were we?
At the top of page 7, and it continues from the last of page 6 there.
Okay, for 3.5 to 4 years, working 48 weeks per calendar year at a frequency of 4 times per week? Yes.
And then after those 3.5 to 4 years, Matthew would be a successful functional reader if interventions are implemented at that pace. Is that what you just testified to?
I don't see where that
objection. I
is.
don't believe the witness testified to that.
She testified it to her in her direct.
Oh, you mean in what,
In your
the
direct,
narrative?
what you just read to us, yes. So do I, okay, can we back up for a second? Should I
Is
be
this
calling that
Caitlin?
your direct, this is Caitlin, yeah. Should I be calling that your direct testimony?
I have no idea what Shipberry is gonna do. I'm being,
Okay. You said you were not gonna be combative either.
do you think I'm being combative? I
No.
think I'm being exactly like an expert witness.
Yes,
Okay.
they're gonna
So-
wiggle around and be difficult.
Okay.
They're gonna make you work
I
for
know
it.
that, I know that, I know that.
Also, it's exhibit plaintiff exhibit 4.
It's called a notice of direct testimony.
That's
so.
why I've been calling
All
it
right.
your direct testimony that you just testified to previously.
Okay. Snipping about it. All right, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Okay, so did you testify earlier that after those 3.5 to 4 years
Mhm.
that Pinchback recommends, Matthew would be a successful functional reader if interventions are implemented at that pace?
I think what I said, Counselor, was that was the opinion of Ms. Pinchback.
Right.
I don't make any,
And you adopted that opinion here, correct?
I relied upon that opinion in making my opinion, yes.
Okay. And do you?
Are you saying you disagree with the opinions offered by Pinchback?
You're gonna say no, though. I don't disagree with them.
It's still a good question. He's giving you a good question.
Yeah.
I say, are you disagreeing? Okay.
Because I'm wiggling. He's trying to help you
Hang on,
get me
you gotta
quit
pin-
wiggling.
You gotta pin her down.
All right.
Are you now saying to the jury that you disagree with Dr. Pinchback or whatever Pinchback's opinions? Well, no. No, you're not.
I don't agree or disagree. I just rely upon those to make my vocational assessment.
And you've included that in the direct narrative that you offered earlier today, correct?
Yes.
You specifically referenced that opinion by Dr. Pinchback,
I did,
correct?
yes.
Then you move on. You've made your point. Move on. When they try to wiggle, don't let her wiggle.
Because you've got her written stuff several places.
Ms. Berry, do I need to put this back on the overhead that you just read for us?
I've got it
I'm
in
not
front
doing
of me,
that.
but thank you for the offer. Let me just say to you that he's not being mean.
I know.
And I am honestly being the way I think she will be.
No, I know.
Okay.
I got you.
Just don't let her wiggle.
I don't think I'm wiggling a lot, but I think I'm wiggling the amount she thinks she'll be able to get away with.
Okay.
Right. You do experts all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I would have probably just left it at, I don't agree or disagree. I mean,
You think I would have left it?
No. like, I don't know, I would probably wouldn't have done all that. I probably would have, once you said, I don't agree or disagree,
Oh,
I
yeah.
just relied upon it.
Yeah. He was getting, I
Would've
think, a
just-
question before that, yeah.
Okay. And then in turning to Matthew, he has a current driver's license, is that correct?
I believe he does.
Okay. And it doesn't have any physical or cognitive restrictions, does it?
I haven't seen it. I don't
Okay, and are you aware that he is currently employed?
know. No, I don't think he is.
Okay, wait, also, can I step over as Caitlin for a second?
Yeah.
Since we're brainstorming
Yeah,
all
yeah,
this.
yeah,
This is going to be determined by what Matthew says in his direct.
Yes, that's true, because we don't know if he's currently
That's not
employed.
right. We don't know what.
I know that, I just, this part is
Yeah.
dependent upon.
Okay.
And I'm going to assume at this point that he says, yes, I own this landscaping business,
Okay.
and that is my company
Okay.
that you're gonna show on Facebook.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you want me to answer that? Ask your question again, please, Counsel.
Are you aware that he is currently employed?
I am aware that he was laid off, and so I think he may be doing some landscaping work on his own, like he did from 8th grade on, so back to his high school self-employment.
Okay. Okay, so he's running his own landscaping business?
He landscapes.
And does he own his own business doing it?
I have absolutely no idea if he owns a business or not. I mean, if he's got a business license, if you, something to show me.
As we sit here today, you're unaware of Matthew's employment status or whether he owns his own business. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. You're asking more open-ended questions to me than you need to.
Well, I didn't know how to ask this part because I knew she would know by this point, but I would.
Well, then you
know
would
without.
say, and you don't know as we
And
sit
you
here
don't
today.
know.
Okay.
No, this is completely practice.
I know.
Don't get flustered.
No, I'm not flustered, it's fine, I'm just making it.
Selena's laughing her head off.
I'm laughing because we cannot ask.
Hey, someone has to.
She's
find
laughing at you being ganged
I
up
just
on
know
by
we
three
have-
partners, yeah.
Right, I just know what I had to go.
This is hazing, this is how we haze at Cornelius and Collins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Brian the judge had something he wished to interject.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think you're asking me if he's currently employed, so that's not in the report, but a lot of this you're taking from her report, right?
Yes.
You need to be ready, not sort of, let me find it here, you need to have that site, throw it on there.
Right.
I don't know if she's employed or, you know, here's your report, here's what you said, it starts making the witness look,
Like I'm wiggling.
and you don't know what you're talking about.
Right now I seem reasonable.
All right, and at the time of your 2023 report, back
Yes.
to that, the report that we were referencing.
Exhibit number 4?
Exhibit number 4.
Yes.
He had 2 part-time jobs, is that correct?
I think at one point, before I went back and talked to him again, he was working 2 part-time jobs, yes.
When did you talk to him for a second time?
I got the information that he was working as a welder, which I think postdates the other part-time jobs.
Did you speak to Matthew directly to get that information?
I say here only I understand, so, I believe that I was provided that information by Ms. Salonis.
And then, what did, you said you were provided by Ms. Linus, was the last thing you said?
Yes, because what I say here is I understand.
Yeah. Okay, so, and back to your 2023 report, you report that he was working in landscaping and that he had a second job working part-time as a mechanic helper at Valvoline.
Yes, that was, one of that's what Matthew told me when I met with him initially.
And then taken together, both of those jobs provide him with full-time employment, correct?
The 2 part-time jobs?
Yes.
Did I know that? I don't know how many hours or if they were on different days, I don't think. If you wanna point me to something.
I would love to point
Okay.
you to that. Okay, please turn to page 7.
Yes?
Okay, so under placeability, do you see the heading?
I do.
You have here that he's piecing together part-time work to earn a living, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and so you're admitting there that he's earning a living with these 2 jobs?
Oh.
Is that what you're referring to?
And that's the only thing that it talks about, close to it being a full-time job.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't think that's what
I don't
that
think that
says.
helps you. Cause I'm not gonna agree to that.
Unless it's some, I don't, I think that's somewhere else.
That's fine.
I mean, much like many underemployed people or people with, difficulty finding good jobs, he is piecing together what he can, maybe through a neighborhood or something, McDonald's, Burger King.
So I'm gonna rephrase that to say,
Mhm.
earning a living.
Well,
Was he earning a living, as you say in your report on page 7?
that is what he reported, yes.
Okay. And then after your evaluation, is it your understanding that Matthew began working as a welder helper?
Yes, as I understand, his father got him that job. It was a favor.
And he was working full-time in that job, correct?
I believe that before he was laid off, he was working full-time, yes.
And you said that your husband is a welder?
Yes, yes.
And through that, you've been able to learn about the occupation?
Certainly, we've been married, 25 years. I know how hard it is.
But do you have any other knowledge outside of your husband, pertaining specifically to the vocation of welding?
Oh, certainly. So, as part of my job, as I talked about, I supervise vocational placement experts, and many times also jobs in the area or employers will come to the vocational placement services and seeking, entry-level individuals for their particular jobs. So I will review the requirements of the Dictionary of Occupational Titles, and I will know whether or not an applicant who comes in to be placed has the qualifications for the particular jobs being sought. And so under those categories, you can look. So I don't know if you've ever looked at the Dictionary of Occupational Titles, Counselor, but they update them about every 7 to 10 years. And then the one that I was referencing here, which is from 2022, and specifically in jobs in the Clarksville area, which is where Matthew and his family live, you have to look at what is required, and those are done by categories and vocational numbers. And so, part of what the Dictionary of Occupational Titles and the Bureau of Labor Statistics, when they call it, you gonna shut me up at any time? I mean, I'm just gonna
I'm
keep going.
responsive to your question.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. So,
The mistake was an open-ended question.
yeah.
What, do you have any other knowledge about welding?
That is-
That lets her take off and just go.
You can just say that was your only basis in your opinion for making that statement.
Well, no,
You're
it's
gonna
not
say
either
no.
because I cite the Dictionary of
So I'll
Occupational
just
Titles
not
and the
ask
Bureau
about
of
the
Labor
welding thing with your
Statistics.
Yeah, I don't think.
Don't
I
ask
don't think
about
that
it.
helps you. I think it's a silly enough statement that she made. You might wanna emphasize she said it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, I was like, and you felt it important enough to cite
That's
the
good.
fact that you're married to a welder as the basis of your opinion. You directly cited that, didn't you?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
that's a
Then you
much,
move on.
there you go. That makes me look silly
Yeah.
without
It doesn't
allowing
open
me
the
to
door
talk
to
about
all
the,
other crap.
yeah, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which I can tell you about if you'd like me to,
Yeah,
Counselor.
you have vast information about it.
I actually do, yes.
Okay, and the job of a welding helper, that's an entry-level job in the welding industry, correct?
Yes, in any of the helper jobs, especially in the mechanical trades, it is an apprentice type job.
Okay, so ideally, one can move up from being a welding helper to eventually become a welder, is that correct?
Yes, if you've got the skills.
And is a college degree or a technical certificate required for this job?
Well, it would depend on the type of welding and the employer that you're working for, but if you're talking about the job categories, no.
You stated earlier that Matthew ultimately would like to become a welder, true?
That's what he said to me.
And so he can in fact become a welder without attending a college or technical school then? As you just said, it's not required.
I said it's not required for the entry-level welding helper job, which is what you asked me.
And then you can get into that entry-level welding helping job, and then you can ideally eventually move up to being a welder.
Well, I think there are additional skills required, which is what I think I said, and I think one of those skills would be whether or not the requirements of the position you're in have a reading component that he cannot meet.
This is Caitlin talking.
That's when you step to the side of the podium, yeah.
Do I need to,
You need to tighten up your question.
I know that.
Yeah,
This-
and
that's what
Jason's
this is-
absolutely ready to help you. He would love to step
Well,
in.
Jason's gonna look over this after that.
Of course.
He's
Yes,
the one with the skill.
yes, but I am truly, honestly, telling you now, not being combative with you.
No, I know, I don't think you are. I know that you're just explaining your answers, which experts are allowed to explain their answers.
Oh, no, I am going where you're allowing me to go.
Okay.
I mean, I am supposed to give you a yes/no answer if you're asking me a yes/no question.
But you're
Now,
still allowed to explain.
I am, but I have to give you a yes/no answer first, which is part of the road you need to put me on.
Right.
I think that line was fine until the last one, which allowed her to escape and get back at you.
Yeah,
So establish that you don't need a certificate, establish that you can move up in that job. Do not then ask, then he should do it, right? He should be able to do it.
yeah, that's implied to the jury. That goes with your line of questions. You don't have to hit home.
Yeah, save that for closing.
Okay.
Now, this welding degree, but this welding job, that doesn't require a college degree, does it? No.
The one he was holding before he was laid off, no, it did not.
And then going back to your report, Ms. Berry, on page 4, if you look at that.
Is this exhibit 4 or is this the
This is
twenty
exhibit
twenty-three
4,
report?
The 2023.
The 2023 report. There's just so many binders up here. How do you know?
Tell me about it.
All right, yes, exhibit 4.
Okay. According to Ms. Pinchback, Matthew's score on the GED from the handbook for analyzing jobs, do you see where I'm reading from there?
Under consultation with Megan Pinchback?
Yes.
Yes.
That would be a level 1 for reasoning and language and math skills, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then according to Ms. Pinchback, he can get up to a level 4 on the scale, correct?
I'm just looking for the way she worded it. I don't think, oh yeah, here it is. I think she said he more likely than not would have exhibited the potential for level 4.
Read that to the witness. Don't ask her the question.
Right.
Read that.
Okay.
Now, it states here that according to Ms. Pinchback, more likely than not, he would have exhibited the potential for level 4 in both reading, reasoning, and language, correct? That's what it says. Yes.
Correct.
I think generally, when you're basing it, you wanna teach them, do that.
Okay.
You read it.
Either read from it yourself or at least use the exact same words. Don't rephrase it.
Because then I'm gonna
Like when
do
you
what I
said
was
2
doing.
jobs equals 1, right? You sort of
Yeah.
rephrase what she actually said. When you're asking across like that, use the exact words, then when you impeach, the jury sees that they.
We're doing a wiggle.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wiggled on many times. You learn through doing it, trust me.
So, and that's a 4 out of 10 according to the GED scale, correct?
Do I know that?
You should know that with your expert.
Okay, if you
expertise
tell
on
me it
this.
is, then I will agree to you. I do not know that
Okay.
myself.
And so according to Ms. Pinchback, he will likely not be able to get to a 10, correct?
If what you're asking me is, does she have an opinion about anything above a level 4, I did not receive that from her.
And so what I'm asking you is, according to her, he will likely not be able to get to a level 10 on that scale, correct?
Is that here somewhere? I mean, I don't think she
She says he
said,
has the potential to get to a level 4 in both reasoning and language,
yes,
and she doesn't go beyond that, does she?
that, there's your question. Right there. You're getting it.
Okay.
It's
This
an
is a-
art.
This is a first.
It's an art, it's an art, we're not, honestly, it's fine.
Okay,
That's why we're doing this, otherwise.
alright. And he will likely not be able to get to level 10, okay, and then that would be even with more interventions.
I don't know that.
But does it say anything in there, anywhere on this report, that he can get to a level 10 if he has more interventions in reading and language?
That would be a question for Ms. Pinchback. I mean, I reported here what I got from her report, so.
But you didn't rely on that assumption from Ms. Pinchback in making these opinions?
No, I think I relied on the fact that his present level was 1.
And then also on page 5 of your report, on exhibit 4,
Yes.
plaintiff's exhibit 4,
Mhm.
it looks like you utilize the PEDS repel, is that the way you say that?
Yes, PEDS repel.
Okay. And under the parental family occupations heading, do you see that?
I do.
Okay, and you listed a number of Matthew's family members, correct?
I did.
And those are family members where you're supposed to take their occupations and their educational attainment into consideration, true?
Yes.
And then that can be one factor in determining someone's earning capacity, correct?
Certainly, yes.
And so it looks like you have listed Matthew's father and paternal father as primary role models and adult influences, right?
Paternal grandfather, yes.
And then you also have listed former stepmother, sister, maternal grandmother, and mother, correct?
Yes.
And the former stepmother that you're referring to, would that be Miss Ginger Fitting, the former girlfriend of Brian Brock?
That's the name I have down here, yes.
Okay. And Brian Brock, Matthew's father, is production leader at Train, and it says he has experience in supervisor, maintenance, and technician roles, and then also has HVAC technician. Is that accurate?
That's what I have down.
And then his paternal grandfather was also a production manager at Train, correct?
Yes.
And those two are the primary influences and role models that you have listed, right?
Well, I mean, I think the father is primary, but yes,
But
those
do
are
you
the
have
first 2.
both the father and the paternal grandfather listed there?
Yes, and
as
4
primary?
other people, yes.
But are they both listed as the primary role models and adult influences, as you say in this report?
Oh, primary versus secondary, is that what you're asking? So
Yes.
that's not in that listing, but in the paragraph
the
above?
paragraph
So
above.
where I actually said that?
You said in the report, I didn't say it in those bullet point lists there.
But
Please give me some suggestions.
no, you identify both the father and paternal father as the primary role models, correct?
And I certainly identified them as 2 of them.
Now, Ginger Fitting, you said stepmother in quotation marks, right?
Yes.
That's the way that's
Yeah.
listed.
Yes.
Miss Fitting was never married to Matthew's father, was she?
You know, I had a question about that, which is why I put it in quotations. I'm not sure, but I think not.
Okay, so the answer to my question is you don't believe they were married ever.
Yeah, I don't know.
They lived together for some period of time, but you don't know if they got married, correct?
I don't know.
Okay, very good.
If I'm fudging you on when you were trying to say primary and secondary, I would just read it back to me.
Okay. Alright.
Because I honestly didn't read that narrative. I honestly I didn't see it.
I-
So I didn't
I
see where you were getting it from.
Okay. And then.
You seem unsure, doctor. Let me read what you put in your report.
I'm not a doctor, thank you.
He'll also be able to highlight it and it'll show up on her screen.
That's what I was thinking too, that function on the thing.
Or you can just say, in the paragraph above those bullet points, you do identify them, and I will quote, primary role models and adult.
Okay.
Anytime you can quote my report back to me, I can't deny it.
Okay. Alright. And then under the educational attainment heading, do you see that?
I do.
Brian Brock has a technical certificate in HVAC from a technical college following high school. Is that what you
Yes.
said there?
Yes.
And then his grandfather is a high school graduate?
Yes.
And then for the other 4 that you have listed there, the other 4 family members, we have some college and for 3 of them, and then it looks like 1 high school graduate out of those 4.
Out of the women, yes.
So no one that you used in this assessment has a college degree, correct?
Well, I don't know, I mean, some college, I suppose they might have some
Would
certificate
you
out
have
of
put
that.
a college degree if they had a college degree?
If I had been told, probably. I mean, I don't know how important that is. My opinion about Matthew was the post-secondary education, because he had at some point indicated that he was interested in going post-secondary. I don't think that question is important. I think you need to word it in the.
There was a question over here
Yes.
from the
Yes.
gallery.
I have a question. One, do we know what technical college, big difference between attending college and getting a certification through other means?
Yes,
So
it
it
says,
just says
technical
technical, right?
it does just say technical college for Brian.
Yeah. I question that, and the fact that she put the sister has some college, but she's an elementary school teacher. No, ma'am. If you are an elementary school teacher, you have a degree. That does not align.
What are you talking, so the part where it says technical certificate in HVAC from technical college.
Right.
But
Or
it's still a
technical
certificate,
college.
right?
Or what college?
Yeah, it's
I
not a
don't
degree.
know, it just says technical college.
You can
Technical
get
certificate.
HVAC certification without going to any
Right.
type of technical college, so I am questioning that because she equates his level with some college and technical to do her calculations. And this is what I was asking about previously, before you guys were involved. When it came to her, because she puts a lot of stuff in here where she's like inflating what the actual truth is. I do not believe that he went to a technical college, because I kind of know who they are. But the fact that she puts the sister is a teacher, and she only has some college, does not align. You cannot teach without a degree.
Well,
Should I?
the other thing, and you might point out, which is dad is a production leader at Train. Grandpa was a production manager at Train, and Grandpa only had a high school.
And dad only has the HVAC.
But she says, and some from a technical college following high school,
Why
it's
can't you-
post-secondary. He's got something post-secondary.
Why can't you get her to agree, that now, Brian Brock, you have a technical certificate in HVAC, correct? Correct. That's not the same as a college degree, is it?
No.
But he's not saying he has a college degree, right?
Well, but that's the.
But
that is
that's the point you're making to the jury.
That's
I
right.
know.
But she is.
Yeah, she's trying to get the
Calculating
jury.
it as some college / technical.
Yeah.
And that would not be the same if you earned an HVAC certification and it was not actually going to a technical college.
I think the point you need to make there and then move along is that, and that is not a college degree. Yes. And then the father worked as a production manager at Train. I mean, what I find more significant is that the father was a production leader and Grandpa was a production manager, and Grandpa only went to high school.
Except the expert says, yeah, but they can read.
Well, have you ever met him? How do you know him?
That's on my
Well,
question.
it's not here.
It says on here he reads at a level 4. His
Dad,
his
not grandpa.
Oh, his grandpa.
See, Grandpa was a production manager at Train, same place.
Okay.
High school graduate. I think the question I would ask after you say, and he's a high school graduate, yes? Yes. And Matthew's a high school graduate, yes? Yes. That's all you need, because you just don't know anymore. And she can say, well, I didn't put in my report. Well, when I talked to Ricky,
And how do we know?
actually,
he's-
Ricky is my husband. He's the welder I know,
How do we know he's a level 4 reader?
because Pinchback says that. I agree with you, we don't know.
Father?
I 100%
The
agree with you,
father-
we don't know that.
And I'm good,
She's
I
just saying that.
disagree. Okay, just based on some of the stuff you've written. Where's the proof?
I think she's only getting level 4 from the dictionary of occupational titles, level required for welder.
You could say something like, I think, the highest level of education that you've identified among all of these role models is,
High school.
Oh,
Oh, highest level
The highest level of completion would be
Is-
high school,
is,
but then the highest level would be some college, right?
No.
highest level of completion.
some colleges, you've gone to college, but you didn't graduate.
Right, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, so some college would be not completion, high school would be the only level of completion that is listed here. Because
Yeah.
some college would not be completed.
I guess the technical college.
But it says some college, technical college, and because it's HVAC, but they're not providing that. And that's why I'm saying, I think she's using that level, because it bumps them up one
Yeah.
section to do those calculations. Otherwise, it would be like around the 30,000, which is what she's saying he can make. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I see what you're saying,
She
yeah.
has, it seems like she has maybe embellished a little bit in some of those small areas in order to get the calculation that she has in the report.
I just don't know how to ask her about her embellishment without, cause I don't have.
Yeah, if you don't have the back,
Yeah,
to
I
back
don't
it
have-
up, you can't.
I think all you can do is what we were just saying, you make the jury's gonna make a lot of these assumptions on their own. You don't need to ask the last question usually, because that's where you get in trouble. Because that's where I'm never gonna agree, because you're impugning my opinion. I
I'm sorry.
don't think that's
Yeah.
useful, cause he could never be, I mean, I would stand up and say, well, he can never be a teacher, can he? He can't read.
Yeah.
And it's
And
not
if
like
you
the
fix
primary
mistake,
one.
it's is she a teacher?
I don't
We
think
don't know.
she is.
Oh, you think that,
I don't think she is a teacher.
I think she's still in
And
school,
if
she might be.
she only
student
had
teaching.
some college, then,
Sister's living with the mom, so we don't know.
Yeah.
oh, no, sister's living with the boyfriend fiance
Okay.
somewhere else.
Was living with, is when the mom took.
Alright.
Who do we have on our vocational expert to?
We don't.
We don't, because we had a vocational in WA, and the problem is, he's still gonna give a range.
Right, yeah.
And
He
he's
won't,
also-
he would not go away from the methodology,
Right.
and he's still gonna give a range.
Yeah.
Now, he says that he'll change the categories,
Yeah.
but it
And
doesn't
then-
help, because he was at 700,000, I mean, it doesn't help.
We have Jason who will say that he can.
Pennington, his
Yeah.
construction teacher.
Right.
The construction teacher said he could be a team lead, he could be a foreman.
He
Yeah,
had
so
the
I think-
skills and
so-
not.
So why can't you just make the point, like you said, that the highest level of completion of any of these people is a high school graduate?
Right.
And, you know, the technical certificate, that's not the same as a college degree. You don't identify anybody here with any, college degrees, do you? No. Then you move on, because you make the point that he doesn't need college, he doesn't need anything beyond what he has attained to go on and live a productive life. And so I don't think you need to get into the details of, well, what does some college mean or not.
But I do think that, an analogy with the grandfather being the production, gotta get it right, production, manager at Train, and the only degree he had was high school diploma. And
I
Dad was
don't
just
know, I
one
think
step
you
up.
just
Doesn't
set
that
yourself
move
up for
into
the
the
expert to
argument
say,
of-
but he can read.
Or
And
back in
that's
that
gonna-
day, all you need was a high school diploma.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what day that was, but okay.
And it looks like sister is a hairstylist.
Should it go on Facebook or?
Where does, is it in the report that she's a teacher? Is that-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
And that is his only sister.
says elementary school teacher.
Is she gonna testify?
Can we
It
ask,
does-
no,
No.
can we ask him or?
Does that matter? They only use Brian to make her,
Yeah, I don't think
If
this
she's
really
listed as, like,
matters.
a secondary.
I'm just talking about the integrity of her report.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's worth it. Because the
Well, you're just
numbers.
gonna say I was told that, right?
Yeah.
Someone told me that,
Yeah.
and that's what I relied on, and it's true.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, the only one that I gave you a comparator for was Dad.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just to show that I was thorough. Yes, I was thorough. I think the more questionable part is assuming Dad's in level 4. And she got that from
Do we ask?
Pinchback. Well, she got that from Pinchback, cause it says, when asked her
Yeah.
opinion on Matthew's estimated language, she opined that he more than likely would have exhibited the potential for level 4, and she says, Dad was at a level 4.
Did Pinchback assess Dad?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, that's why we've got problems with the whole level 4 thing, no one ever says how they assume a level 4.
Are you asking Pinchback that in her class?
Yes. I mean, we will
just
have
don't
the
know
other
when
two
Pinchback's
witnesses on whom she relied. The only thing this lady can add is where she got the comparator numbers and why she chose what she chose.
Okay.
And the fact that she has absolutely she doesn't, I mean, it's the pre-event, post-event.
It never hurts, you gotta figure out a careful way to ask it, but get the point across that her opinion is only as good as Pinchback's is. And to the extent Pinchback's opinion is, questionable.
Well, I think it's mostly you relied upon these two opinions and, she frankly wasn't qualified to make any of the assessments that Pinchback made. because she's not a reading specialist and she's not a dyslexia specialist, she's a vocational specialist.
And you get that early in your cross that she's agreed she's not qualified.
Yeah, I mean, that was correct.
Okay.
And, I did not review any of the all of the IEPs, I reviewed one of them, and then Pinchback's report where she reviewed all of them, but.
You ready to?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I don't wanna move on unless you have more.
No, no.
Okay, and then if you'll turn to page 6 of plaintiff's exhibit number 4,
Yes.
please, about halfway down there, and I'll highlight it for you when
Mhm.
the time comes. Do you see where you state that Matthew is exiting the adolescent stage of development? Under the development stage.
Under part D,
Yes.
okay, yes,
And then you go on to say that typically people in this stage are unsure about their roles as an adult, is that true?
they're often unsure, yes.
And then you say that he has not yet narrowed down his desired career path, true? The last sentence of,
He had not yet narrowed down his desired career path, yes.
at the time that you drafted this report.
When he was 19, yes.
Okay. So you were making assumptions there as to his career path?
Here, I don't think I was talking about his career path.
His desired career path?
No. If you mean in my assessment of pre-event, post-event, then yes, I took his interest level, and that's where I got the comparators for the wages. I don't know,
I'm not talking about pre-event versus post-event.
okay,
I'm
that,
talking in this
then I'm
paragraph
confused.
here.
In this paragraph, yes.
Right, so you've said in this that he has not yet narrowed down his desired career path, true?
I said at the time that he was 19, he had not, correct.
Yes. And so in saying that, you're making an assumption here in your entire report about the fact that his career path that he wants to do is welding or landscaping, is that correct?
I'm not sure I understand your
Okay,
question.
well, I'm gonna step over here.
Okay.
Okay, here's what I'm trying to get across, and tell me
Yeah.
how to change this. Sorry if I'm
Mhm.
wasting your guys' time as well,
No.
please leave.
You're
if
not
you
at
need to
all.
leave.
No, no, no.
This is good.
Okay, so based on that, at the time of your report, you did not know what Matthew ultimately intended to do with his career. That's what I wanna say is like, this is all speculation of what you're saying. about his
Okay,
career
I
path.
think then you're better off with the second paragraph under S, synthesis.
Okay, I was about to go to that next.
I
part.
think that's the
So
question you
hold
wanna
that
ask
down.
me.
Okay.
Cause the developmental stage thing is just
Okay.
voodoo. I think what you wanna ask me is, so you say here that, that you are projecting his career path as being in alignment with his father. And that's the assumption that you made for the purposes of this report and for making your, future earning loss calculation.
Okay.
I'm not assuming anything, I'm just telling you to what extent his earning capacity has been diminished.
But based upon that, you have chosen a career path because you had to. How else would you get a wage number?
Right, but this doesn't mean Matthew has to do this. This is just for purposes of showing the decrease in earning capacity. Not saying he's gonna go do his job.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Are you reading me, what did you say?
I am,
didn't
if you're
hear you.
listening to what he's trying to say.
I'm writing down what he said, and then what did you say?
Right, well, I'm not gonna answer that because what he's trying to focus you in on the actual question.
Right.
So that would be the first question, and I'm going to say that is the basis on which I made this economic calculation is using the whatever it was, Papel, analysis saying that the vocations of the family is predictive of the vocation of the
I think
Okay,
what.
that's what I was about to get into.
Right,
was
but he's
that
trying to tell you how to
part.
say it.
Okay,
Well, I just think that she is gonna, if you start getting into saying, well, you're assuming he's gonna do this.
Well, that was my question on hers, but.
well, that's what I was getting into, though, is you're
Right.
making this assumption.
But she is
She
making
can-
assumptions.
But if I were her, I'd say, I'm not assuming he's gonna do anything.
You just
I'm
needed something
saying,
to,
if he can read at this level, he can earn this much. If he can
But
only read
that's
at this
not
level.
what she's saying. See, that's not. She's saying because of his reading level, he is out of 99% of the jobs in the market.
Right, but if he were at 4, she's saying,
He
he
would-
could earn this much.
yeah, based on his data.
If I were her, I would say, I'm not saying he's gonna go do this,
Yeah.
be a welder or do whatever.
Right.
My only job is to tell what jobs he could do if they had taught him how to read, and what jobs he can do when they didn't.
Right.
And here's the difference. Now, what he actually ends up going to do, I'm not predicting that.
Right, and I think there's a knock it out of the park statement after that about this whole thing being hogwash.
Well, and I think I was, cause on your direct, you say, that you consider 2 jobs, a landscaping worker and then an automotive service attendant. Those are the 2 jobs that you looked at.
Pre-event, yes. Because that's what he can do at his
Yes.
current level.
Yes. Well, post-event,
Both.
Well,
it's,
it's both, pre-event and, there is no post-event because he can't read.
well, yes. Okay,
And she chose that because that's what he was actually doing.
yes.
And I
I'm
chose the
gonna
second one
work on
because
that.
that's his dad.
Yeah. Okay, Miss Berry, will you please turn to page 6 if you're not already there?
Okay.
Matrix Exhibit 4, please.
I'm here.
Okay, and then under the synthesis heading, do you see that?
I do.
In this PEDS repel model, what is synthesis used for? And then you would say, it's typically a culmination of all the prior, things that I considered, and it summarizes.
Is that in this?
You put it all together.
No, but I,
you mix it up,
I
and come
did
up
a
with
little
this.
bit of research, and it said
Oh.
you synthesize all the other information
What
that you.
was
Then
the
don't
basis-
ask
what's
me.
the basis of the research? Confront her, say.
Yes.
Now, synthesis, according to Learned Treatise X, that's defined as this.
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yes.
Yes, I agree, that's fair definition.
And that wouldn't have to be an exhibit, right? That would just have to
No.
be in future.
Does she cite to it anywhere?
Yes, the PEDS repel model.
There you go. Now, according to the PEDS repel model, synthesis.
It might even
is
be
defined
said earlier
as-
in the report what it means. Is it not?
It's not, it's not.
No, I don't think I'm that specific.
Okay, so.
It's an acronym, I say what it's an acronym
Yeah, that's
of.
what I was
That means
thinking of.
synthesis. So it's a culmination of all the prior parts of your assessment, is that correct?
Oh,
Just say yes.
okay.
So ideally, it should take into consideration Matthew's parental and family occupations, as you have listed here, his education attainment, as you also have listed, and then his evaluation results, and his developmental stage, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and in looking at what is listed under the synthesis section,
which is the S of PEDS repel.
yes.
Yes.
You mentioned a strong correlation between a child's educational attainment and occupation, and that of his parents and siblings.
Yes.
Is that the only correlation? Well, that's not the only correlation, is it? That you should be considering, sorry.
Do you have something specific you want me to look at?
Well, I can have,
What's your point?
that you're only looking at the dot and that's it, you're not looking at any of the other stuff that you're supposed to be.
Okay, I didn't get that from that question, so there's gonna be a different way to word that. And I don't think that's important under the PEDS repel. I don't think you have to go back as far as PEDS repel. I think she flat out says she is looking at the father's occupation.
Okay, so then in deciding, or in making your opinions regarding Matthew's loss of brain capacity, in this report, Exhibit 4, Plaintiff's Exhibit 4, and in your direct testimony, you only consider the educational and career path of Matthew's father. Is that accurate?
Okay, so what you wanna do is read me the second paragraph under synthesis again, we're back to that. But
Okay,
it's
but
where
you
I
didn't like
said,
synthesis.
cause in there I say, with the consideration of the education levels of Matthew's father / primary caregiver, he would have been expected to have attained post-secondary technical certificate or some college. I mean, I say that,
Yeah,
so you need to tell me I say that.
okay.
Or I'm gonna really go back to, well, but I also identified the secondary models and,
Okay, so if you'll look under the synthesis heading.
yes,
Okay.
which is
Um,
part of the PEDS Repel
Which is part of the.
analysis. Yep.
Okay, and on the second paragraph below that heading, do you see
Yes,
that?
I do.
Okay, and you say here, with the consideration of the education levels of Matthew's father / primary caregiver, he would have been expected to have attained a post-secondary technical certificate or some college.
Yes,
It would also be reasonable to project Matthew's pre-event career path as being in alignment with his father / primary caregiver, whose primary career has been in production supervision and maintenance management.
Yes.
Is that accurate?
that's what I said.
Okay. And so, is it accurate that based on that paragraph, you only looked at Brian Brock, Matthew's father, in determining the type of, wait, I'm sorry, we're working this.
It's okay, you got lost in your sentence.
I did, well.
And be a
this
little
is off the
more,
top.
argumentative. It's not the word I mean, but I mean, direct to me, because you're still asking the would it.
So you didn't include Matthew's evaluation results in that analysis, did you?
I did, what evaluation results?
On the previous page.
Yes, on page
Word.
5, yes.
The E in PEDS
Oh,
Repel.
yes,
Okay, that stands for evaluation results.
yes,
Okay, so you didn't consider that when you made this determination under the synthesis section, correct? Is there anything in there that mentions the evaluation results in that paragraph?
you mean Matthew's actual scores, his ability to read?
Yes.
Uh,
And his evaluation when he was in front of you, the second paragraph as well.
I think you're never gonna get her to admit.
No, I'm never gonna say that.
That she didn't consider something.
Okay.
In my report.
So then how do I make
Yeah.
the point of,
Well,
the
tell us
only
what
thing
your
you're
point-
saying here is
Mhm.
that you're considering the father's education and career path, and nothing else that you looked at?
Right, well, see, that wouldn't have anything to do with Matthew's, because I've already said Matthew can't read. So,
I think you're trying to say,
Right, but then
you're
there's.
basically, you're listing all these role models,
Yeah.
but you're only looking at the father when determining where he might go, where he could have gone. You're not considering the other ones?
well,
Is
yeah,
that-
but I
but
don't think
also-
that's valid.
Yes, I'm saying that, but also the other parts of this PEDS Repel model that is
Uh-huh.
supposed to be considered.
Yeah,
So the developmental stage and then so on the evaluation section, on the second paragraph, it's all
Mhm.
about basically how he presented and was evaluated on the day that he was there.
Yes.
Getting evaluated.
yes.
And that is not mentioned in that paragraph I just read to you.
But, I mean, I agree it's not mentioned there, I don't know why it would be. And so that, I'm trying to
Okay.
get at what you're trying to say is missing.
I think what she's trying to say, there's this whole PEDS Repel model, you've done all these sections, and then when you finally get to your ultimate conclusion, you're just looking at one thing, which is
That's what I
dad's
was trying to get at, but I'm not
occupation.
doing a great job.
Yeah, I got that part, but,
I just, you're never gonna get her to admit that.
yeah, I'm never gonna admit that.
So what are you gonna say instead then? No, I thought I considered all of
What
that,
I've
just
been,
didn't-
yeah,
Yeah.
well, no, all of that went into my analysis, but as I said before, it is, under the SAP, et al. 2000 learned treatise, there's a significant positive association between the child's educational attainment and occupation of that of their caregivers. He lives with his dad has been his consistent in-house caregiver. And so it is reasonable under the learned treatise, which I base my vocational analyses on, to compare him with his father, and so that's what I have done, yes. But as you pointed out, none of the caregivers have a college degree.
Okay, so
So I
then,
don't understand what your point is, counselor.
so then I should not get into all the other aspects of this PEDS Repel model
I think, I think you've lost the jury.
Okay.
I think
Go ahead.
this part that you're talking about that's not included in the synthesis part, this is discussing him now. The synthesis part, she's only saying that she's looking at Matthew's caregiver for the pre-event category.
Yeah, it's for the comparator.
So where Matthew is now has no basis, doesn't inform his pre-event that she's trying to use.
Right, but then, well, no, I realize that,
Mhm.
but then there's also the developmental stage, like there's,
But
yeah,
Matthew
hey,
now
let's just scratch this.
doesn't do the pre-event.
The
You're-
problem with that is, on his developmental stage, you're only ever gonna get me to say he can't read,
Okay,
because that's his developmental stage, he can't read.
well, it's not what it says in his developmental stage section of this report.
I do love her first line of the synthesis though, that says family circumstances play a powerful role in shaping a
But
child's
not the
behavior.
only role. But yeah, the power.
I mean, I think there's something.
She's harkening back to what Hunter was talking
I
about.
know,
Right.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I know where you're headed.
Okay,
She has a weakness all over her report.
okay, so,
But I think for purposes of this, I think the rest of the crap she's talking about is not as important as the economic damage. And
Okay,
that's where I would
we're going to
focus
that.
where she gets her. And I haven't heard you say that at $19 an hour overtime, that we will already have into evidence his payroll records. And his payroll records from when he was a welding helper would get rid of most of this.
Why was he laid off?
We don't
Lack of
know.
work.
so it's
Cause
lack
it
of
just
work.
happened, if we wouldn't have even known if we hadn't gotten the payroll records late, cause I'd already deposed him, so.
I don't think it would be a bad idea to just
I agree.
highlight that
Just-
one
just-
sentence.
Yep,
Right,
You say here, family circumstances, correct, move.
yep.
I mean, a lot of the stuff that you're trying to get out of me, Shep, will be in later argument, will be for later argument. The only thing I really want you to, I think, point out is, she relied on McAfee, cause we're gonna impeach McAfee. She relied on the assumptions that, or
She doesn't say
Pinchback's
she
report.
relied on that,
It was-
does she?
It's a new name for me.
She's gonna be the dyslexia
Would you
specialist
like her
who used
direct
to work, right,
testimony?
she's a witch. And she did not get a doctorate from TSU, which they confirmed for me yesterday, and they're coming to testify on day one.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think she relies on that.
She doesn't rely on that, I don't think she ever
She
says
relies
that.
on-
Okay, well then just say, well, she talked, yeah, that's fine.
McAfee kind of mirrors the same arguments that Pinchback makes, or the same opinions, but I don't think she says.
Right, she
McAfee.
relies on ERIC, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Earache, which I also wanted to ask you about.
And watch out, cause she also relies on Christensen, and they're gonna quote Christensen to you as many times as they can.
Is that the one that said we failed her?
Yes.
Yeah.
She did use the word pre, which I also love.
Right, I'm gonna rework that and we'll figure that out.
Yeah, no, I know you will, I
Run
mean,
that
that was
by
the
you
point
and
of
everybody.
this. I do think, you do need to hit the pay records and the pay of the welding helper job that he was holding.
I had that as a question for you, because we
Mhm.
don't, it doesn't say, and correct me if I'm wrong, Victoria, but I didn't see where it actually said what his hourly rate was, I just saw the records where it says how much he was making on every paycheck.
I
But it
believe it's
was
in his, direct testimony in his deposition.
Yeah, he said,
Oh,
he
you're right.
testified that he made 19 and then he was promoted to 20 and then.
And he was working a lot of overtime, that's
You're
right.
Cause I was seeing the overtime with the pay records.
And that's why we got the pay record. So if you annualize what he was making as a welding helper, I believe,
It was like, when you take out, I looked at it and it was like
Mhm.
around 40, like
Yeah.
41.
I mean, it's higher than.
I know. Okay. I was gonna
And
ask
the other thing is, she is putting Dad's category of what he's doing now. Well, Dad's been doing it for 20 years. You don't
Right.
start out at that wage rate.
Yeah, so what was
I
that
was
rate
thinking that.
in comparison?
Well, right. So, I mean, she's comparing Dad at his current career level.
to how he's gonna start out and what he would start out.
Right,
making
to
at
48 years of Matthew, starting at $59,000 a year.
Yeah,
I mean, that's where the bullshit of this analysis in a dyslexia case, this is all good and well for somebody who broke their leg and already had a job, and then you know what vocational loss is. It doesn't really apply, and that's the weakness, I think, that needs to kind of get pointed out. I think a lot of what she's put in here, you don't even need to deal with.
Okay.
And she's so contradictory. One minute she states, like, Matthew claims he's competent, he's all these things, but then says he wanted to go to TCAT, but didn't think he was smart enough. But did he try? Did he apply?
Yeah, I didn't know if I needed to get into.
I don't think you
didn't have to
do,
say
because the
anything.
teachers are not gonna, I mean, even Pennington's gonna say, no, he wasn't, you know, he didn't need post-secondary to do what he wants to do.
Cause it's in there multiple times. that
And there
we're
are
not
construction
feeling
workers who
smart.
are making way over production
I
supervisor.
think you could almost bring out what Rebecca's getting at, when you could ask her, what do you mean here by pre-event?
That, it's the pre-event, post-event argument, that
That's-
you made it
it's in-
well.
It's in here. I just-
Okay, yeah, I mean, you just haven't gotten to it.
I mean, the only thing she can say is, well, that the event was him getting dyslexia.
Yeah.
Well, she,
And we didn't
she's
give him,
proposed
you're
on-
not arguing that Susan Simpson gave him dyslexia, are you?
Well, I would more likely say that it's a congenital condition,
I
it's
have
not
that as well.
an injury.
Okay.
I mean, I would make it as, it's a congenital condition, not an injury,
Okay.
cause it's not an injury. And I think that shows, at least to any person on the jury who's dealt with this kind of thing, you're gonna know that's the difference. But I think you need to just hit her with the numbers. I really only care about this woman because she's the only one that puts $1 million on this.
Do they have an economist that brings it down to present value?
No, but we have a
Have
jury
you heard of the
instruction. They argue
Alaska
under the
rule?
Alaska rule that they don't have to because, yeah, the judge hasn't bought this either. Because under the Alaska rule, unless they've added a COLA into the calculation, you don't have to reduce it to present value.
That's not Tennessee law, though.
It's not anybody's law. It's not even the Alaska rule.
Alaska.
It's not even the last.
Well, it's not, the Alaska rule went away a long time ago, it's not even.
Yeah, so we have a present value. And she will be asked to reduce to present value.
And I'm sure you're getting this too, but I think you could have to bring out with her that he hasn't done anything to try to help himself here.
Yes.
Since withdrawing. from school.
Yeah,
I have
that's,
that, but I
that's
was-
less with her, because she won't even say, I mean, she won't even say that there is a point at which you have mitigated and you are to the level 4 reading, because she can't. I have no knowledge about dyslexia or mitigation or
Right, but I mean, she quotes pinch
pinchback.
back.
Mhm.
3.5 to 4 years of this, you get to level 4.
Yeah, and so
And so once he's at a functional reading level.
I mean, that's our argument. Vocational people don't agree to that. I mean, I tried that until I was blue in the face with our vocational guy. He's like, but that's not how we do our calculations. We don't make assumptions. So I think you pointed out,
No, you're right, you're not gonna
Right.
change your opinion with it,
right,
but there's this alternate scenario where he doesn't have to lose all this money. He can go learn how to read and.
right. And there is a way to wind up and ask that she has to probably not answer at all. They'll argue, it's argumentative, and the judge will sustain, and you'll sit down, but the jury will have heard it. And that's ultimately, I think, what I think is, you're trying to do too much
Okay.
with
Yep. With experts, you've gotta be
in and out.
targeted, hit your points, get in, get out, live to fight another day.
And also, Justin can't do anything more with her except follow up on what you have
That's
said.
right.
And so you don't open too many doors.
Right. So you were asked about this. Explain to the jury what you meant by that.
Yeah, and you get another opportunity for her to,
Yeah.
I think you've got some great pointed things to say.
Okay, I'm gonna cut it,
I think
cut it back.
100% cut it back.
I'll cut it back.
But I think what you've heard here today is, I mean, great.
It's good. I mean, it's good. You've
Yeah.
got
I
good
think
points to make.
you've gotten a lot of pushback today, and you've held your poise.
Yeah.
You've done very well, that bodes well.
It does. You've never been in this situation before, so I mean,
No, I.
nobody's
haven't.
judging you, we're just trying to say, in our experience, and,
Experts
Well, no,
are
I would
fine.
like this now rather than.
yeah,
at
of course,
trial,
that's why we're
so.
doing it now.
What I found especially on Cross is you've got to almost you've got to know the exact words of your question. You can't play around with ideas and concepts.
Yeah.
It's the words that matter, because, you know, you can't ask something you don't know the answer to, right?
Not with cross.
And we don't
So-
have a great deposition on this one.
Kitsch is
Any
kitsch.
extra
Oh, Kitsch
information.
took
that's-
deposition?
Yes.
Okay.
All this stuff, most of this predates.
Play the hand you're dealt.
But I don't think it's,
How
I don't
have
think
it-
it's bad. I mean, I think her report, and the fact that she had to do a narrative for,
Mhm.
is very helpful.
I'll have my question, and then I have my cite to the impeachment right there. So as soon as they don't say what they should say, I say, turn to this.
Okay.
This paragraph, read that,
Okay.
then move on.
Yes, that's.
The
I
worst
didn't
thing,
wanna get too
you want the
into
witness to be the one doing this, not you.
Right, no, I know.
And
I
if you
won't be
make me
doing
be
that.
combative with you, it looks bad on me.
Mhm.
You stay calm at all times.
Right.
But if you make me fight back at you, then it looks like I'm advocating, and I'm supposed to be a neutral expert that just looked at the facts, people.
Okay.
And the minute I look like I'm playing a side, I lose some credibility. But I really think she would say, I mean, I think this was helpful, because she would say what I've said to you.
I agree with you. I think you're doing a great job.
What's your name,
Pinchback?
Pinchback? Pinchback says with this training, he can learn to read in 4 years.
Yeah.
Gain level 4. It's your opinion that if he were to gain level 4, he'd be able to earn this much money?
He'd be at the same level as his
Right.
father, because that's the level that you put the father at.
Mhm.
And he hasn't, to your knowledge, done that, has he?
Okay. Alright. Do you want me to continue on or no?
Oh, if you're not done, sure, you can
No,
try out the
well,
rest of the
I
stuff, but
mean,
if you're ready to go back
lot-
and rewrite your questions,
I
we'll
would
do this
rather go
together.
back, cause a lot
Yeah.
of what you guys have, I have in here, I just would rather
fine.
trim everything off, and then maybe we reconvene
Well, we can be.
without I mean, if everybody wants to come, everybody's welcome to come.
No,
to
I think you
reconvene,
need,
but-
you, me and Jason, or Brian, one of the others.
Right.
Target, and they'll tell you, and they'll help you rewrite your questions. The one good thing about this is, in my opinion, cross is easier than direct. And because you are going to have written out your questions and made her
Well-
give you the answer that you want.
Right, and we have her direct testimony.
Correct.
Word for word, so.
That's
Correct.
even better than it otherwise would be.
Yeah, because it's not well written.
Another tip is when you write your question out, think about, worst case, how is this witness gonna handle it? Where can this witness take this question, and how do I avoid it?
How do I block her in? If you can't block her in, don't ask the question.
Which is all the more reason to use her own words or what she's got, because she can't explain it that way. This is what you said, right? Yes.
Which is our problem with Christensen, because she's not gonna go away from what she wrote, and she wrote it.
Okay.
I think Justin's gonna give you leeway, but I think if he finds a way to object to you, he will, because he wants to throw you off.
Yeah,
Again, all I can say is never turn and look at him and never answer him. The judge will make a ruling, and you can make your, remember the judge said he can't make a speaking objection, so
yeah.
I think you'll handle his objections
I-
fine. You've seen it, he's
Well,
not
there's
scary.
not a ton of issues with like, I don't think there's a ton of hearsay issues or anything like that in there.
No.
Well, she's stuck with a report.
No.
Right.
Asked and answered, I can hear that. Bullying the witness, let her answer. You're cutting her off and not letting her
Well, I
answer.
don't want the letter answer either, that's why, but then I let you talk too long as well, so
Well, I didn't
at
give
some
you an
point,
answer. The problem was, the
off,
way you
right?
asked the question, I didn't have to say yes or no, because that's not what you asked me.
Okay.
There is a time and place, though, if you've asked a simple question and the expert just goes on, you can turn to the judge and say, Your Honor, can we
Please direct.
answer the question?
Or she does that, it's like, so your answer was yes.
I did have one.
And then if she does it again, it's like, Judge, if you could please have the witness answer the question.
But Your Honor, she's entitled to her opinion.
Yeah, some of it doesn't even matter what the outcome
Doesn't matter,
is.
yeah, it doesn't
It's
matter.
irrelevant.
You made the point.
Yeah, you made the point by frankly, your question should be the point. point you're trying to make is the question you just asked. Okay, I mean, I think this was very helpful. Now Talia's getting ready to be an expert. She's our expert. Hybrid fact witness.
You ready for my cross?
Well, we wrote her report much better than. Barry's report is written. All right, thank you, everyone.
Good job.
Convenes today. It was
Yay.
very worth it. And
You
I
like
mean,
that?
pardon?
Do you like that way of handling expert testimony, a written report that
No.
you just read from?
No, but that's the federal way.
Yeah.
All of them have adopted it.
It's awful.
It's horrible. The other and he was very adamant, you're not going off of it. Now, the thing is, two of these witnesses, not her and not Talia, are hybrid. So we did ask, or I asked, they didn't think to. I said, how do you wish us to handle hybrid witnesses? And well, we're still gonna speak the narrative of your qualifications and ask you to agree. And then we'll either start you with, your involvement in this case is also, in your position as Special Populations Director at Clarksville Montgomery County School System. And in that capacity, you are familiar with Matthew Brockton, you're familiar with the teacher. And then I can ask you those questions. And in addition, you have an opinion as an expert in IEPs or whatever we put you in as specifically. I'm changing it a little because I don't want you to be an expert on adequacy of IEPs based upon that ruling on the IDEA case. So we'll change what we say a little bit, and then you'll read your report. So it's a little better for you or worse. But that's what's gonna happen with McAfee too. See, McAfee's gonna be a hybrid. That I finally did hear back from TSU and they confirmed.
You start on Tuesday or Monday? Tuesday?
Yeah, so we have Monday. They've allowed us to take all the boxes over and dump them off Monday morning for the exhibits and stuff, but we'll have the rest of Monday. And then, of course, the first half will be the voir dire and selection and opening.
Are you guys coming?
Oh,
I think Jason's.
Jason's
I'm
coming
hoping I'm
for,
supposed to assist with
jury
that.
selection. I even asked whether we could have we will not get the jury pool information until 8:45.
Tuesday?
Yes.
8:30 to 8:45.
8:30 to 8:45. Although if we need a little more time to read it,
We'll
we
get
won't
it.
start court immediately at 9.
I've never heard of
And so what I did is I said, well, Your Honor, because he said, we'll pass it out and then you have your basic biographical information, and you all know what it looks like. We're like, you tried to get a copy, but you wouldn't give us. We get 3 peremptory strikes. We strike off the whole pool, or voir dire the whole pool at the same time. We'll have a conference on any cause strikes, but they won't know if they're stricken until all the strikes are made, and then he'll just excuse the jurors who do not make it for whatever reason. I did make sure, I said, well, how many copies of the biographical data? She said, well, certainly 1 each. And he said, why? And I said, well, we will have a client representative behind us, and it would speak. And he said, okay, we have as many copies as you want. I fought for you to get an extra copy.
Oh, really? It's a computer itself.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Those bankers make the bank money.
All that bank. You're still.
Have you been
You're
recording
so
this?
sorry.
Oh,